as an entrepreneur, I find chaos in my life on a daily basis. I started this company around 4 years back, and I would like to start with a confession. Around a year back, we were launching one of the most important products that we have developed for our company, and almost everything went wrong with it. We had designed a product which is a hands-free sneaker, a first of its kind for India, and super light. We were super excited. We did a lot of customer surveys. Everyone gave it a 10 out of 10 that we will buy it at this price point, etc. And we were super excited that this product is going to change the future of our company. And everything was planned. The suppliers were identified. We had marketing lined up. The advances were paid to the suppliers, and we were all just waiting, fingers crossed, until the dominoes started falling. So the main supplier who was working with us to build this product declared bankruptcy, which we had no clue of, and very close to the timeline of delivery. We had planned that this product will be launched during the festive season, just before the Diwali, etc., which is the main season for sales through online channels. And because of the delay of 4 months, because the supplier got bankrupt, we missed out the whole sales season, which essentially meant that our sales throughput was 1/3 of what we expected, putting significant burden on our working capital. Suddenly, there was a very real possibility that if things did not turn around in 2 months, we would not be able to pay out salaries for the team. Imagine walking out in the morning to the office, smiling to a team member, while in the back of your mind, what you are thinking is that how many weeks of runway you have. It was a really tough situation. It was chaos. Not the cinematic one, but a real one that we experience as founders and entrepreneurs, the ones which keep us sleepless for weeks and for months. That brings me to our topic of today, a lucid chaos, which I like to call learning to dance when the floor is on the fire. So chaos is not just disorder or failure, right? It's when looked from a clear lens or from a lucid lens, it can actually be a teacher. Can you just And then what is chaos? I would like to talk about anatomy of chaos a little bit before I head forward into this discussion, and I will finish the story later in the talk as well. Excuse me, can you just move to the next slide as well, please? What does chaos really do to us, right? It first starts with an uncertainty, a feeling of lack of sense of control. And when we are not able to control something, the natural response of our reptilian brain is fear. Fear of not doing something that you thought you can do, fear of letting people down, fear of failure, fear that makes us escape a situation, fear that makes us fight something, but stops us from embracing what is the reality of that moment. But here is the paradox, that fear is also the sharpest lens that you would ever look through. When you are in a zone of fear or chaos, every decision matters and every insight is precious, and every mistake you might make is expensive. So it actually bears you down. The chaos and the fear bears you down to the essentials and the true values that you need to live by. There's a very any spiritual enthusiast here, you might know that there's a very clear saying, very um, repetitive theme in Indian philosophy, which says that Hindu philosophy is that the clarity comes when the illusion collapses, or the illusion of Maya collapses, right? And chaos is actually force, um, a storm that actually has capability to either just sweep the floor behind your feet, or actually break all your assumptions and illusions about the current, all the inertia you might be living in. And hence, I think today's theme that your team here has chosen is great one, the lucid chaos, like how you can actually use lucidity to navigate chaos. As an entrepreneur, I have seen, and in life as well in general, I have seen these three themes or three manifestations of chaos happening very frequently. One is complacent chaos, that I like. I mean, these are all my terminology. Sorry, you might not find them anywhere else. And the second one I like to call as anticipated or participatory chaos, and the third one is the mad bull chaos. Let's understand a little bit more about them and what could be the antidotes to each of them. I will take small examples from my experience of how we experience them in daily lives. Can you just give me So a complacent chaos, it's the most unavoidable, it's the most avoidable one and still the most common one. It comes when things start going well. We become complacent, we delay decisions, we ignore early signals of anything, and end up in a chaotic situation. These are usually things there is best practice and societal knowledge about, that if you don't do these things you will end up in a chaotic situation. As the time progressed, as we grew bigger and bigger, we started focusing on new product lines to chase growth further, which worked well for us as well, but we somewhere lost sight on defending this product. Now it's a common business knowledge, and that if your competitors will follow you within, like, it's a competitive market, within a year they would copy or build something similar to your product. And that's what happened. After 2 years of launching this product, we realized that suddenly one day we realized that the sale has started dropping, and within 2 months it has dropped to half of it. It was a chaotic situation for us, because this product was probably 30% of our sales at that point of time, and losing half of its sale was a big jerk to the company's P&L and books. Now, could we have avoided it, right? Very easily. This is a very well-known fact that you have to defend your or keep launching better products on the same line to keep ahead of the competition. We could have easily saved this through discipline systems or best practices, which is the point I wanted to make, that complacent chaos can be handled just through these three things, which a corporate or a business school actually teaches you if you do your homework well. Another very simple example on this could be drunk driving. It's a very simple rule that don't drive when you are drunk. But if you do, you might end up in a very chaotic situation of finding yourself in an accident, etc. Right? Simple society discovered rules which can be followed to avoid complacent chaos. Can you please? And so moving on to the anticipated chaos, which I also like to call as participatory chaos, where we actually choose to participate in a situation which we know is volatile, uncertain, but is necessary to explore growth or explore new horizons. And you know there would be a storm, but you don't know really how violent would it be. And if you and the antidote I have figured here is that you have to be a combination of three things. One, planning control systems, being hustle or nimble on the moment, on the event of chaos, and having good relationships to anchor the shock absorption of the chaos. I'll take this again through a very recent example. One of the team members came out and said that why not do a 100% off, celebrate it with a 100% off for 2 minutes. It would be a great way to generate a buzz and a sort of a virality message, as well as celebrate and pass on to a certain number of customers who actually end up doing orders in these 2 minutes. Now we knew from the onset of this example that it can turn chaotic, right? Your website might go, might just crash. That crash can bring in social media backlash, etc. And multiple things, like we'll have to figure out systems that how does this happen for only 2 minutes, etc. But we said that okay, it's something we want to participate in, and let's build control systems around it. First thing what we did is we to enable nimbleness and hustle and quick response, we ensured that on that day of the sale, from morning to evening, we would have the whole team just sit in a war room, which means our social media team, our marketing communications team, our website development team, and our product pricing team. All of them, all the decision makers there to enable quick 2-minute, or even like not even 2-minute, a 30-second decision, because it's a 2-minute sale. We built in some control systems saying that okay, the volatility could be that we might get 50,000 orders. Are we ready to have 50,000 orders paid off at 100% off? Let's build some control system and say that we're limiting a stock to 2,000 orders or so. The sale moment of 3:30 p.m. arrived. The website crashed within 10 seconds. Within 30 seconds, social media comments had started coming in that this is a fraud and everything. But fortunately, we had the team, all the decision makers there. We quickly, on our feet, on our toes, we decided to move the sale window from 2 minutes to 15 minutes. We took off one of few steps which were adding more load to the server of the website, which enabled users to actually place orders in next 15 minutes. 50,000 users tried, 2,000 got through because of the stock limitation that we had put through. But eventually we had managed the whole idea with a fair amount of buzz for the company and a fair amount of customers, like around 2,000 customers getting a free product as well eventually, as part of the celebration that we wanted to do. For us, it was a great marketing, because if we had to reach to 50,000 consumers to look at our catalog, etc., we would have anyway spent that amount of money. But I mean, marketing efficiency being one thing, the point I wanted to make here is that there would be situations in our lives where we have to participate in chaos knowingly, and we have to we would know that the actual scenario will just be presented to us when it happens. For those situations, planning control systems, the limits on the volatility, and having ability to respond with hustle and nimbleness is important. And eventually good relationships are important. Like one of the partners here was our website development partner, which is an external agency. Having them being part of this whole thing and having a great relationship with them actually helped us respond fast enough. That brings me to the most uncontrolled version of chaos, the mad bull chaos. As the name says, it rages like a mad bull. It's uncontrollable, and it is fairly externalized situation. We don't usually choose to opt into this situation. We don't, but most of us eventually in some phase of our life end up in this situation, in a professional front, in a personal front, or somewhere. The first two chaotic situations, the anticipated chaos and the complacency chaos, actually can be solved through some skill and training. But mad bull chaos tests your identity, tests your character, which is mostly not taught in schools and is usually learned in the school of life or through certain other practices that you can choose to imbibe in your lifestyle. And one thing is for sure, it is inevitable. How do I know it? I've seen it enough, and if we go a little deeper into um, any disciplines who have gone deep into consciousness exploration, they will all come back and talk about how the life force is and how spontaneous it is. So, which, which the chaotic nature of it is just the reflection of the spontaneity of life force eventually. So it would come to all of us, and there are three anecdotes. So let me first. So there are three anecdotes which I thought, which I feel solve the Mad Bull, help us navigate the Mad Bull chaos situation. You can't really solve it anytime. One is just ability to have lucidity, which I define as ability to keep decisions or actions away from emotion in times of when you are flooded with emotions. Fear is a very strong emotion. It drives strongest and extremest of reactions in humans, so what we did in our situation, when we were struggling with the cash flow, we ensured that to bring logic into these emotional spaces, we took few steps. We said we will not take any important decisions after 8 p.m. in night, because under stress you can do that, usually you do not, but because exhaustion plus anxiety makes for really poor combination for decision making, we built an advisory council so that they can keep feeding us logical, less emotional advices, and we get out of our heads. We slowed down the decision making so that any emotions we are living in can actually fizzle out. The second most important thing that I think, that I feel is hardly taught, sometimes not even in our when we are brought up as a child, is surrender to that external situation when you are not able to. And surrender doesn't mean give up. Surrender means acknowledging that you are really in a situation that's gone out of your hand, and and forgiving yourself to some extent. That surrender actually allows you to eventually open up to more people acknowledging your problem. Otherwise, we just create a wall between ourselves and other people who actually are the ray of hope to help you in such a situation, because you are not able to help yourself in some of these situations. What happened with us in this particular situation that I have taken is, once I had acknowledged it's okay that I messed up, let me at least solve my mental health by talking to my friends. And he offered a great solution after listening to our problem and just said, I will help you with the marketing campaign, use my face, use my reach, and you can give me a deferred fees once if your thing solved. Which doesn't happen, if your company dies, it's okay. I am not going to ask you for anything. डूबते को तिनके का सहारा बहुत होता है. I just took his help. I think we were fortunate that we had a successful exit out of this situation. But we would not have had it. One thing is for sure, that we would not have had it if I had not surrendered or fully acknowledged that that it's beyond my control, and if anything can happen, if someone else only can help, let me at least share this with my friends. It's easier said than done when we are in these situations, and but there are definitely some tools to build these kind of virtues and strength in yourself, and meditation being one of them. I think sports being second of them to some extent, to bring you clearer to your present moment, how you are in the present moment. The last point being the persistent belief. Though chaos is inevitable, but it's not permanent. It does pass out away, if not in 10 days, then maybe in 2 to 3 years. And having persistence, having belief usually helps and help you navigate this Mad Bull chaos. It's tough to really solve or turn the tide when Mad Bull chaos hits you, but it's possible to navigate and come out stronger out of this. Because when you come out of these situations, and today even when I reflect, strangely we have the learning we had in this period was larger or more than learning from any success we have ever had. So this had kept us so strong. This brings me to my concluding thought on what I think of chaos. So over years, it took me years to understand that chaos is not just an obstruction or an obstacle, it's also a privilege. It means if you are in some chaotic situations, it means you have either participated in them to grow, it shows your growth mindset. Also, it's an opportunity, it's an evolution knocking loudly at your door. You can use it, you can use lucidity as your technique, you can prepare yourself for these situations by doing some of the mind strengthening techniques to actually use this as in your favor and transform yourself for good. Today, even when chaos hits us, it does shake us, but it does not blind us. We are able to come up and navigate the situation. We are perturbed, but so to all of you, you have a bright future and a large future in front of you, and there would be chaotic situations, unfortunately. I'm not demotivating you here, but you should be ready for, there would be some chaos in your lives, and there might be broken relationships, there might be job losses, there might be failed enterprises, there might be loss of dear and near ones somewhere in your life, which would put a chaos in your life. But do remember that many people have navigated chaos and come out of chaos as a stronger and a more evolved individual, and I would like to leave you with that thought. Thank you, everyone.